Hello and welcome to the Quibber channel. I am Jason, your host. Just wanted to check in. Things are going okay. I'm just plodding along. I've got to go see next week the diabetic nurse. We knew it was diabetes anyway, so I've got to go see her, and she's going to probably go through all the stuff I'm doing and see if there's anything that she can think of, nutritional wise, and anything to do with what they'll probably provide with me with a diabetic a blood sugar thing to keep an eye on blood sugar and all that kind of thing, and loads of leaflets, just thingy. So yeah, I'm watching everything I eat. I'm doing everything I can. I have my own blood sugar thing here. Bought it long ago. As the porter, I've always thought that everybody should have something like this in their medical cabinet. The kind of thing where you just put a pinprick and you find out where blood sugar is, because that way you can just keep an eye on things if you find yourself going to the toilet more, or if you find yourself needing to drink more, or feeling tired and other things that normally we just look the other way. I prefer to know. I prefer the knowledge of knowing what's going on. I will keep you informed, of course, of everything that goes on, but nothing major's happened. Some bits and pieces arrived from Amazon that I bought. Some what is it? Seaweed crisps and seaweed sheets to use, because when I create my food types, I like to have food that will stay for a long time. I love the snack that I've created with using those little pieces of lettuce with tuna and mayo on. It's gorgeous, but my brain always says to me, lettuce only lasts a certain amount of time. You can't store a month's supply of it without having your own garden and things like that. So what I'm thinking about with stuff like the seaweed, I can use those seaweed sheets to have them as a snack. Have my bits and pieces on top of them, which is actually a lot better. So it's all working really well. I'm feeling much more calm as I bring more coping strategies online. And with me, it's always been about knowledge. It's always been about knowing what's going on. I can have been able to access my NHS stuff. You see, this NHS app that I can access for myself at the moment used to only be available for special cases. When Paola was alive, they were first started to roll all this out. And because Paola was dialysis and all the other things, and she had access to a system that was very much the early prototype of this NHS app, and we could input her fluid levels and everything like that. So just let me get back in and just check if there's anything else been added. And I must say, my GP is wonderful. I mean, with the amount of extra workload GPs and that have these days, I am very lucky to have a really good health centre that have always been very, very accommodating. Ooh, looks like more test results have come through. Okay, so because some of the stuff took longer, so okay, so right, they wanted to check me for hepatitis because of the damage to my organs, that just in case some hepatitis type B. So they did a test for that. I mean, how I would get hepatitis, and that is so AH2 normal. So yeah. So hepatitis, all the hepatitis stuff has come back perfectly normal. So that's all the stuff that's come in. So I don't have hepatitis, which is nice. We've got a healthcare professionals comment on my blood sugar and yeah, all that normal stuff. So that kind of result just too long. They're very thorough. They know that I don't like to go to the doctors. They know that I have a problem being in places like that. I'm just glad I've got my Pride Revo, which allows me to get to the doctors and that. So I can take my safe space with me. And that's the thing. The one time I was inside there without it, I'd fall apart. I hyperventilate. I have panic attacks in doctor studios, surgeries and that. With that, if I'm not on my thing, it is a very bad thing. It scares the hell out of me. So much so that they started coming to my home to give me my appointments and stuff like that and do my blood test. I'm glad that I've I've clawed back the independence by actually having the mobility scooter to be able to leave the house. So yeah, I arm up when I go in there. It's like beanie on, proper mask on, with my gloves on so I don't touch anything. I am pretty much armoured up as much as I can when I go in there. So I'm very happy that I can do that. It still wears me out. See, even though it's next week when I'm going to be going to the doctors to see the diabetic nurse, I'm already preparing coping strategies. I'm already starting to plan it so that my brain is just trying to set everything in motion so it isn't a shock to me. Thankfully, my doctors, because they know a lot of surgeries have got this thing where you can't make appointments anymore, where you have to call up the day thingy and you call up at 8:30 and it's completely busy and they might not have a spot for you in that. When it's stuff that's serious and that, when it's just not just a cold for a child or anything like that, they are very, very proactive. My surgery is really proactive. They keep in touch. They're always very, and the secretaries are wonderful and caring and actually understand. They always ask how I am. They always make sure it's okay to talk to me and that. They're always very concerned. And so it makes things better. I trust. Remember, my GP is the one who noticed my bowel cancer. I had gone in for a simple yearly blood test before Paola died, probably 2 months before Paola died, and he had noticed that my blood levels, my red cells were low, had dropped by about 30%. And he contacted me straight away and says, because he knows that I like the information to be given straight away, and that says, well, there's two primary causes that this could be for you in your position with the other results. He said, either you're, in fact, I wonder if he's got my old notes. I wonder if my old notes are my old come on, let's go past all this. I want to check my old red blood cells. See if we've got the last red blood cells. Okay, red blood cells. Full blood count. That's the place it'll be in. So my View test history. Oh, it's only got within the last 2 years, unfortunately, so it doesn't go all the way back there. So it just means that I feel safe around my GP. And yeah, it was. He still thought I was going. I've got distracted there. He thought it was either a stomach ulcer that was bleeding, a perforated stomach ulcer, or something in my intestines, maybe bowel cancer. So first they did had me go for a thingy down my throat to just check my stomach and that out. And then there was a bit of pushback by the hospital because he's too young to have bowel cancer. I mean, but they said, we got to check. Your doctor wants us to, GP wants us to check this. We've got to check. And thank God they did, because they found the tumour in there, in my intestines, and removed it a couple of months later after Paola died. So yeah, I trust my GP. I know he's a good place. So yep. This is what a bit of a ramble. So anyway, I'm okay. I'm going to do more of these videos letting you know how I am at the moment, just to make sure that you all know, because as I said, I'll always let you know how I am. But I'm not as worried as I was. I'm doing everything I can, and I'm trying to boost my potassium levels as much as humanly possible. I will decide what to have for food in a bit. I've got to write in my diary for the day. So, take care of yourself, everybody. You're wonderful.